UFC Vegas 86 is the fourth UFC event of 2024 and the third straight event where we will see middleweights at the top of the bill in the headlining bout. At UFC 297, we had a new champion rise with Dricus du Plessis dethroning Sean Strickland. Then we had a little bit of a break. We come back with the number 11 Nassourdine Imavov defeating the number 8 ranked Roman Dolidze. And now we are here with the number 11, the new number 11 ranked Jack Hermansson taking on the unranked Joe Pyfer, the Dana White Contender Series alum. Will we get another breakthrough in the rankings, or will the Joker hold strong? Since April of 2019, Jack Hermansson has quite literally won one, lost one, won one, lost one. Up until December of 2022, he lost that most recent bout against Roman Dolidze, who we just saw last week in a main event spot. All of 2023, we didn't get to see the Joker. Will the layoff pay off? We've seen Jack Hermansson reach pretty high in these middleweight rankings. He's cracked into the top 10. He's approached that top 5 territory, but never got that one final win to solidify him as a true title contender. If you look at the record, he wins 4 in a row after losing to Thiago Santos. He loses to Jared Cannonier. Bounces back, beats Gastelum, but then loses to Vettori. Bounces back, beats Edmund Shabazian, but then loses to a champion in Sean Strickland. Bounces back by beating Chris Curtis, and then loses to Roman Dolidze. So here we are again, another bounce back spot, an unranked guy coming into the rankings for his first time in Joe Pyfer, but a very, very dangerous threat at that. And for Joe Pyfer, he's coming into this fight 8 years younger than Jack Hermansson and more than 2 times less experienced than the Joker, but he is an absolute machine. He is on a tear right now. You know that Dana White is a huge fan of Joe Pyfer. He was on that infamous Dana White Contender Series card back in 2022 where nothing really happened all night until Joe Pyfer got a big second round knockout, and Dana White patented the phrase, "Be Joe Pyfer." And since coming into the UFC, he's kept that momentum. He's lived up to that hype thus far, racking off 3 straight TKO KO victories, the longest fight going 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the second round against Abdul Razak Al Hassan last year. But now we are seeing by far the biggest jump in competition in name value. In every category across the board, this jump is massive for Joe Pyfer. We're talking guys pretty far away from the top 15, now jumping into Jack Hermansson, who is number 11, but has been as high as that number 5, number 6 territory that I had previously discussed. For the most part, throughout this UFC run, Joe Pyfer came out relatively unscathed. He had a few moments in that Al Hassan fight where you may think, okay, maybe there is some more here to Joe Pyfer, some things he may have to work on before getting a jump. And now here we are. That was in October. It's now February, going up against Jack Hermansson, who, to be quite honest, is a very solid, well-rounded guy. Not great in particular in any one category, but good all across the board. But I do believe in this fight, Hermansson should look to grapple if he's wanting to get a easier path to victory, if you will, against Joe Pyfer. Someone we haven't seen get tested too much. The most we saw him tested was against Al Hassan, but Pyfer did get a submission of his own right in that fight, so he proved that not only on the feet does he have that knockout power, but he can pull off a submission on the ground. And I look for this to be a relatively violent fight as well. You look at what Joe Pyfer's been able to do in 14 career fights, I believe only going the distance 1 time. And in 31 pro fights for Jack Hermansson, he's only seen the scorecards 9 times total. He has 11 knockouts, 6 submissions, hinting back toward that, well-rounded skill set that he truly does possess, and been finished in 5 of his 8 losses. This is a very violent fight. 2 guys that when they will clash, I just think aren't made to go 25 minutes like we've seen in the previous 2 middleweight main events. Will the veteran expertise of Jack Hermansson, the resume that he's built, the competition that he's faced be too much to handle for Joe Pyfer? Or will the new up-and-comer, the fresh face of the middleweight division, get the biggest win of his career and catapult himself into the top 15 at middleweight in only the second month of 2024? Let me know what your predictions are for the UFC Vegas 86 main event in the comments below. I think this is going to be a very fun scrap, to be quite honest with you. I think it's a big step for for Joe Pyfer to really prove himself that he belongs amongst the ranked fighters at middleweight. At only 27 years old, that would be a big step to take. And for the Joker, not saying this is a must-win fight, but this is a fight where if he wants to keep any hope alive of making a run toward the top 5 one final time, you gotta win here. At 35 years old, you're ranked number 11. You've been winning and losing. You gotta put it together here if you're the Joker. Get a big win over someone with a ton of momentum and cement himself as still a player at 185 pounds in a division where the title is getting passed around like a hot potato.
Hot potato! Oh. No! Excellent fight.